All right, y'all. We back with another one, man. Real Ops Podcast. First thing I need y'all to do, hit that subscribe, hit that like button. And if you get something, powerful from this message, please share it out. We're gonna go into pretty much like the lack of examples that are being set within the household because I feel like that's why we have a lot of kids who have, confusion about genders and things like that at a young age to where when I grew up, it wasn't really like that. And it was, I don't want to say it was frowned upon, but it wasn't as widely accepted. We got politicians that's opening up the gates for it and kind of condoning it in a sense. And then, it's just a lack of example and a lack of communication in the household. I feel like to where a lot of these kids are able to make these adult decisions at a young age just because they don't really have like the guidance and the impact that us as older in a different generation we grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Our mom asks us questions, we talk, and with a lot of the younger parents and the younger generation, I feel like they just kind of letting their kids go off in the world and you know be influenced by the world and not so much by their parents. You know what I'm saying? So why do you feel like a lot more of the kids are like confused at a younger age? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like y'all know how we got the different gender titles and stuff like that. And this ain't to offend nobody. It's just we trying to get to the bottom of it based on our opinion, how we feel like, things have gotten kind of off track just as far as the traditional man woman relationship and things like that.
Well, I mean, even like us, right? We had the podcast, but we're doing the podcast thing. You have all these people doing podcasts, different, social media is at an all-time high. I would assume you have a lot of people online. You can, like, you don't need to have cable no more. You can be entertained. Just go on YouTube and have this podcast, that podcast, people saying this, people saying that, Instagram, on Twitter, you got TikTok. So, kids, they love TikTok, boy.
So
All that
so
stuff, you know what I mean? It's like a slow. I feel like it's a slow, like contamination, or now I don't want to say contamination. Oh, that's like a heavy word. Slow.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like a slow. You know what I'm saying? Like
contaminant. Yeah,
let's put Facebook out there. Okay, Facebook got cracked. Let's put Twitter out there. Let's do TikTok. Let's do. Let's add these features. And, you know what I mean? Let's do all these things to make people stay on their phones longer. You know what I mean? So even like I have a newborn son. Like when I go home, sometimes it's like, yeah, I'll hold him, I'll play with him, but shit, I'll turn on the little iPad and let him watch Dory, let him watch. You know what I mean? I'm monitoring what he's watching, but as far as some parents, they may not. If he gets a little older, you just give him the iPad. Hey man, turn it on, and you go to the other room, and you think he's watching Dory, but he watching something else. You know what I mean? And you're not monitoring that. You know what I mean? And it's a lot. It's a lot of things you can watch now on Instagram, and TikTok, and on social media and online. Period. I was a little kid. I used to
it was limited.
mini clips.
Yeah,
The games, I used to play video games, and that's all.
He-Man, Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, man. Hey Arnold, Rocket Power.
No, yeah, I think that's a good point. I think it's so. Let me ask you this: Do you feel as if because of like the lack of monitoring? Because I know I just remember as a kid, whenever I was watching something on TV or something, my mom would always come in there. Boy, what you looking at? What is that? What they talking about?
For sure.
So do you feel like this generation, like the younger generation, they not being monitored, and like social media has become like a babysitter
Yeah,
in a
monitor. Yeah,
sense?
social media become like a second parent or third parent in a sense. You know what I mean? Just or a real game or whatever, So iPad and that cool. Other than that, crying and that.
As long as they not bothering you,
Man, I'm good.
take that phone and get out of my face, boy.
Well, that's watch the game, you know what I mean? And so, I feel like that's not the soul. It's like everything, It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything. You know what I mean, that plays a role into it. And I was going to say something. I forgot at one point. I was going to say something.
No, I agree. It's a combination of social media, lack of, pretty much just talking to your kids, asking them how their day was, picking their brain on different stuff and like having them honest conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember the first time my dad asked me, you know what I'm saying, like, do I like girls or do I, you know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that that's always appropriate or whatever, depending on the age, but I feel like those open up those kind of conversations so you can kind of figure out like where your kid head is at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like I was telling you about that one podcast. He was saying like you uh, have to debrief your kids.
Ooh.
You have to debrief your kids. You know what I mean? They see like the same. Like okay, like let's say you have a little kid, right? And y'all watching a scary movie. You let him watch a scary movie. He gonna think that shit's real. He gonna think that shit's real. But you have to let him know, like, oh, this is just it's fake. You know what I mean? So when we see all this other stuff on social media, it might be a real person. It's not acting, but that's still, you're not seeing the behind the scenes. You're not seeing the makeup. You're not seeing all the, the glitz and glamour that come with it. So you thinking it's real, but it's like the same way you have to be debriefed about ghosts and monsters under your bed. You have to be debriefed on Instagram and TikTok and social media. And it's a lot more. I'm saying social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You have to be debriefed on that too. You know what I mean? School, what you learn in school, where you are teaching in school, what you learn, how to make you feel, how these people make you feel, like, you know what I mean? So you have to. It's a lot more work. Like I feel like the social media that's out right now puts a lot more work into the parents. Now you have to be more on top of shit.
Yeah.
They have their cell phone. They can pull out their cell phone and look up stuff. They can iPads now. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but shit, my son, he's 5-6 months old, and he has an iPad already. I have to say but we're monitoring it. I'm not saying, but still, it's like he has it. Oh, that's his iPad. You know what I mean? To watch Dory, find Dory, Cars, Toy Story, and shit.
Yeah, but
I'm knowing when he gets older, I have to like.
Okay, you gotta debrief him. Yeah, you gotta.
How does it feel? Like, oh, like, you know what I mean? You have to make sure he knows like this is just TV. You know what I mean? Same way a podcast or same way anything. Instagram, you see, people on social media. You might look at social media. This guy, this person, man, they're always going on vacation. You're not seeing the whole. You know what I mean? You don't know the whole story behind it. I mean, he might be going on vacations, but he might be living at his mom's house. Might be dead broke. Might be
couple noodles.
2-3 months behind on their rent. So you're not understanding that part of it. You're just seeing all the. You know what I mean? So.
You're just seeing the shiny side of it. Yeah. I think that's a powerful word, like debrief. That's major because it's like in business, anything else. If you're not like debriefed on the realness of it and like the things that you may face, you probably going into a situation with a false reality, thinking that's how everybody operates. And I think that's kind of how the kids get it to where they see certain things and people's only showing the wins. They're not really showing the journey or the losses. And the kids get caught up feeling like, at a younger age than they should, that they got all these options. And to me, the only option as a kid you got is to go to school, focus on school, and you know what I'm saying, be respectful of the elders. And I feel like that play a big part in it too. These damn kids out here, they don't have no respect. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no respect. So when you do try to debrief them, if you haven't been a constant impact in their life, and you try to debrief them, say they're looking at something you don't want to see, and then you try to debrief them and let them know, oh man, that's not real. Like you said, they're not getting up behind the scenes. And then you give them that little talk for 5-10 minutes. Then they go right back on their phone and they're reinforced by what they see, feeling like, oh man, he don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's where a lot of this stuff, kind of is fed from. Like you said, it's a bunch of different things. It's not just social media, but that plays such a huge part in what the kids see because they thinking what they see is reality. Yeah. What do you think about like the role that the school system is playing? Because I know here in California, like, just be frank with y'all, I know that for a fact, Governor Newsom, his wife has books that are not really appropriate, you know what I'm saying, for school age. It's kind of stirring around that confusion. And it was a situation to where certain schools were going to lose their funding if they didn't implement those books into they bookstore, they library, or whatever. So it's kind of like you forcing it on the kids now. You know what I'm saying? At least in California, I don't know where y'all live at, but in California, like that's something we face to where they gradually just, you know what I'm saying, sliding it in as far as like, you know,
Yeah, definitely agenda. I feel like it's like I said, it's like a slow contamination type of thing. It's like, well, let's just try to do a little bit in school. Let's just try to do a little, a little bit of here. Like I think I was telling you the other day where I was watching the cartoon, with my son. I'm looking, I'm like, damn, like this stuff on there. I feel like that shouldn't be on there for kids. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be on there for kids. They might have parents that are gay, two that are gay, kissing on a cartoon show,
right,
or
right,
thinking the movie of the new Toy Story movie.
yeah,
Same thing. They had a gay lesbian couple on there, which
yeah,
they didn't show them kissing or anything, but still, it's like you just like y'all could have left that part out.
right, right, right.
That wasn't an intricate part of the story.
Yeah,
that made the story that
no,
much
yeah,
better.
for sure.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like certain stuff they're putting in. It's like I feel like it's necessary. You know what I mean? Even you probably heard about it. Like probably some time ago where they announced like SpongeBob was gay.
Yeah, what did that even matter?
Like, why does that? You know what I'm saying?
Why is that even something to even discuss?
Yeah,
Nah,
you know what I mean? Like, why is that even? Like, as far as the kids, if you want to put that in an adult show, fuck it, put that in an adult show.
right, yeah.
Kids, like gotta protect his kids, man. You know what I mean? And I think that's my point I was saying earlier. It's like all this stuff that's happening. You know what I mean, right? And then like you'll have people who like will get in trouble, but will get judged for what they say, or they'll get looked at differently what they say, or they might face some type of consequence, like you said, that they like. If let's say I'm a school, you know what I mean,
right?
And they tell me we're not going to pay you your salary if you don't push
right. This agenda.
I feel like I have to somewhat talk about it,
right? Even if you're not with it,
I'm gonna talk about it. I have to make sure I don't speak on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like it's coming to a point where a lot of people are scared to say what they really feel because they don't want to be looked at like, oh. And I remember there'll be times, in the old barbershop where I might say my opinion. I might literally just say my opinion. I'm not, you know what I mean? And people will tell me, oh, you're homophobe. I'm not homophobe, dog. And so it's like, when people say that shit, it just makes you want to, all right, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? I'm never going to say nothing more. You know what I mean? So it makes you hesitant to speak on anything. You know what I mean? And as far as examples, it's like we're like losing those type of examples. Those men that are going to stand on what they say. I mean, stand on what they believe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Stand on what they, you know what I mean? It's like, honestly, like it's easier for me to stand on shit because I have a son. You know what I mean? I have a son who's gonna grow up in this world, so it's like I can't be afraid to say that. And it's like this is shit that he needs to know. I mean, I feel like this is my son. Yeah. I feel like this is shit that he
right. You're gonna raise yours how you see fit.
I'm saying just like we say debrief. You know what I mean? He needs to learn. You know what I mean? He needs to know. You know what I mean? So, and part of that is not being afraid of saying what you feel, like your opinion. You know what I mean? It's an opinion at the end of the day. I'm not saying any facts. I'm saying what I feel. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I feel, No, yeah, for sure. And this ain't.
And I mean, just to just that thought, just more so. I'm not bashing LGBTQ.
Oh yeah,
you know I mean,
and that's
I don't. You know what I mean? If you do what you do, you do.
I was.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I was just.
My thing is like when you're pushing that shit to the kids.
I was just about to put that out there.
Like that's what I have a big
problem with, for sure. I was just about to put that out there, like just for the viewers, anybody tuned in. This ain't against what people feel like they had a right to do. This is more when y'all trying to normalize it for the kids and not really giving them an opportunity to make those decisions, you know what I'm saying, for themselves as they get older and they learn more about themselves. Because a little kid, within the ages of 5 and 10, they don't even really know what they got in their makeup or their anatomy, whether it's male or female. So to be trying to, put these weight on them to make certain decisions or say that it's okay to make certain decisions when they haven't learned themselves, is focus on the kids. In my opinion, you grown, you live your life. That's your choice. However you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing against you. If that's how you swing, that's how you get down. But like Jay was saying, when you trying to normalize it on the kids and you trying to make it
Cartoon shows.
a normal thing.
Cartoon shows.
And not only that, like it's subliminal. Because like you said, when you was watching the cartoon, you noticed that as a grown man,
I
right?
watched that same episode as a kid.
Exactly. As a kid, you're not gonna pick up on that.
Shit on Nickelodeon and all that shit on Nickelodeon. I never thought that shit was weird, but as
you got older,
Nickelodeon special, they see. I remember, I was watching that Nickelodeon shit on whatever Dance Night or whatever, and I was seeing something. I remember watching that episode when it came out as a kid, and I didn't.
You didn't see none of that.
I didn't think nothing weird of it, but now I'm getting older. I'm like, hold on, they got feet in the jacuzzi with the girls, and you know what I mean. We got she laying down backwards, and you know, lotion on,
They got pickles in the glory hole.
Oh,
like
that shit, I was like,
you feel what I'm saying?
As an adult,
right? As an adult, we see that like.
I remember watching. I remember watching that shit as a kid. I did not think nothing of it.
Yeah.
As an adult,
you like what the man? Let me turn this. Let me turn this, man.
You porn. This is some adult shit. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make it funny for kids to, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's not. I don't know that's right. You know what I mean? You're trying to, make adult jokes funny enough to translate to kids. It's like just let the kid be a kid. You know what I mean? And I feel like the other thing about it is too is like y'all giving them this information about if you want to transition as a little kid, 10, 11, 9 years old, it's okay. Which I don't think is okay. I guess what I'm saying is like y'all telling them it's okay, but y'all not telling them like
what comes with it. You know what comes with it.
And honestly, I read some shit, and I don't ever know. I mean, because they're not telling you what's happening. They're telling let's say when a guy wants to transition as a girl and they cut their shit off, whatever. You know what I mean? So I guess when they sew that shit back up, they're not knowing you're really a nigga, but you try to go as a girl, a girl. Now you got, infections coming because your pubic hair is growing on the side.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got weird shit going because, you know what I mean? So you're not telling all the infection you can get and all the shit. All the weird shit that could come with that. Weird. You know what I mean? All the shit that comes with that shit.
Right. And that.
The side, you know what I mean?
For sure.
The side shit that comes with
the side effects. And I feel like that goes back to the point.
Problems, you know what I'm saying?
The point we was making earlier on the whole, like, they're gonna spin it on you, but they only gonna give you that one version.
Yeah.
They're not gonna give you both sides. Okay, yeah, you can do this, little Timmy, little Tommy, but these are gonna be the possible side effects that you may face since you feel like they're grown enough to make that decision if they want to do it. Put the same sauce on it and put that perspective in their face to where, okay, well, these are some of the like you said, the side effects or whatever. But I want to go back to a point that you said earlier. It was a good point when you said, like, I think people in some households, I don't want to say all, but I think in some households, people are scared to go against what they feel like is like politically correct. And that comes from like you said.
Parrot correct. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, right. Like they don't want to go against, the masses or the grain in sake of saving their child from possibly, you know what I'm saying, going down a road to where they talked about, they question, they challenge and stuff like that. And I just feel like nowadays enough people is not really standing on how they truly feel.
And and honestly, I can feel more comfortable talking about this subject, right? Because I remember, I don't know the nigga's name. He's like one of the gay dudes on like Love and Hip Hop or something, one of them shows and shit. He's like the gay dude. He has like a beard, but he has like girl hair. He has like a thick, you know what I mean, thick whatever, right? But he's gay, right? And they asked him, it's like, would you want your son to be gay? He was like, no, like I don't want my son to be gay. I know that's crazy. I'm gay, but he's like, there's a lot of shit that comes. And that's the shit y'all need to be telling these people. You know what I mean? The kids, you know what I mean? It's like you're gay, you have a platform where people are watching you.
Right.
But you as a gay man, as a gay black man,
wouldn't wish that on your child.
Come on, man. You wouldn't wish that shit on your child. You know what I mean? So it's a problem. That's a fucking problem.
That's heavy. That's heavy right there.
Yeah. Or like you have people like, you know what I mean? You'll see the interviews at colleges, they'll ask kids like, oh, do you think a 12-year-old should be able to smoke cigarettes or go to war? Oh no, they're too young. They're too young.
Right.
Oh, can they transition? Oh well, that's different. Oh, I think they're old enough to make that. Come on, man, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like that's wrong. You know what I mean? That's like, how could you be so clear headed and decide, oh no, they can't smoke cigarettes, they can't drink, no, they're too young for that. Oh, but they're old enough to shut their dick off. They're old enough.
And I think
that's crazy.
I think that's
we come into a world like this. We're coming to a world.
Yeah, for sure.
Normal. That's normal.
For sure.
Like niggas can say that shit. That's normal, and you know what I mean. And, yeah.
And it's kind of like you know, I feel like kids are going to be influenced by what they feel is like popular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And right now they're trying to make that like a popular agenda to where it's kind of like, I don't want to say like, let me see, how can I say it? Yeah, they making it a popular agenda to where it's like it's something new, and instead of, you know what I'm saying, going with the norm and doing what normal people do, quote unquote, that's something new for them to like have their own identity. And I feel like identity is something that's, your identity is your identity. You may be able to change your personality based on like maturing and getting older. Like your personality will change and it'll develop based on your experiences. But your identity is your identity. So once you cross that line and you identify yourself as this, I feel like it ain't no coming back from that.
That's it. You can't come back.
You can't come back from that. And
I'm sure you got to think about it. And I don't feel like a kid, you know what I mean, should be able to.
They don't know enough at that age. Yeah, they don't know enough at that age to alter their identity and to, you know, step into a whole different, you know, mindset and makeup of who they really are. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know how to do. You don't even know how to do math. Certain, you know what I'm saying? You don't even know how to do certain math and spell certain words, but you able to determine, you know what I'm saying, how you want your identity to be portrayed for the rest of your life. And to me that's just crazy. And I feel like a big part of that started with them trying to like soften up the men, like demasculate the man, whether it's the black man, white man, whatever. I just feel like they trying to demasculate the man and take the masculine from the man and just have everybody like on some soft shit. And for me, it's like I never really try to understand it. I just accept it from an adult standpoint because they've lived their life. If that's the choice they want to make, then, you know what I'm saying, hats off to you. You live how you choose to live. But like we saying, this is centered around our children and, you know what I'm saying, the younger generation, to where I feel like you're not even giving them a chance.
It's not even fair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're not even giving them a fair chance to grow up as kids. You know what I'm saying? Get a broken leg, break. You know what I'm saying? Do the normal things that kids do. You're already putting these lifelong decisions on them, and it's like we were saying with the identity, ain't no coming back from that, man.
Like, and you can see by like TV shows, like I noticed, like in movies, right, from like the '90s. You know, the people got joked. I mean, certain words that they were able to say, certain shit they were able to say, joke with. You know what I mean? Certain shit. And now it's like you can't say nothing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like I feel like that's part of it too. I feel like a lot of people are sensitive now. Like, we're more sensitive, more emotional. You know what I mean? Like you can be joking, you can be just playfully. You know, you don't mean nothing by it. People are just so emotional nowadays. And like, you know, yeah, you know, like you seen those videos where it'll be like a tranny, like a man turns to a woman, and then they'll be at the restaurant and be like, "Oh, you call me a man? Do I look like a man to you?"
Yes.
He was like, "Yes,
yes."
You do.
I still see your mustache. Your voice is still deep.
I'm saying, get to a point to delusion. It's like if you want to be identified as a woman, like you're going to make everyone else respect the fact that you're not to dress you like a nigga.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny you said that too, because I seen a post y'all the other day where the police officer pulled this dude over. Right, he in the car with another woman. He's driving, and when the police officer asked him for his license and registration, he said he don't have no license and registration because he identified as a cat.
Yeah, well,
They
get your
go
ass out the car, man.
they
Get your dumb ass out the car. man.
they going to all different extremes, and the cop kept like he was kind of giving them a hard time because he was saying, all right, well, if you a cat, you identify as a cat. Let me see you know how like the animals have to get veterinary records.
Yeah.
He was like, let me see your veterinary records.
Yeah.
We got to get you a shot for this. We got to get you a shot for this.
Even if I play along with y'all,
Yeah.
game,
You still not
sense.
exactly
It still don't make
exactly
sense,
because that ain't something
Still
that you
makes
even consider all the ins and outs. You just want to identify as
Yeah.
anything, and I think
Sure.
ultimately like that's a way for them to escape from reality. Because if you stand on, okay, I'm a man, if you stand on you're a woman, then there are certain responsibilities that come with that. And I feel like with this whole, gender thing, playing both sides, I think it's to release the responsibility that comes with, you know what I'm saying, certain makeups. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man, you have a responsibility. If you have kids, you know what I'm saying, take care of your kids and uphold yourself as a man, kind of give back and make sure you're making some type of impact. And as a woman, it's the same thing, be respectful, teach your kids, certain things, certain traits. But I feel like when you playing the middle of the field, it just takes all the responsibility off of you because now it's like, well, I identify as this, so that don't apply to me.
Don't give me a ticket.
Don't give me a ticket. That don't apply to me. I identify as this. I'm not who you see me as, so you can't ride. You exactly all that accountability, all that responsibility is relinquished when you try to put yourself anything other than what you are truly born and identify as.
I never saw a cat
You know what I'm saying?
I never saw a cat drive before.
Same thing when I seen something, they was like, it was a probably like middle-aged black dude, and they were interviewing, and he said, well, I identify as a middle-class white man. They won't let you identify a different race.
For sure.
No, if you black, you black. If you white, you white. Right. They won't let you cross, you know what I'm saying, cross that identity when it comes to skin color or race or ethnicity. But they'll let you what? You are not a white man. Yeah. And that, you know what I'm saying? So to me it's kind of like
you can clearly see that.
You can clearly see that, but because I tell you I identify as this, I have to be accepted as what I identify as. And to me, like I said, keep saying this because this ain't to offend nobody. You can identify as you want. Just don't put that on the kids. Don't put that on the kids. Give the kids a chance. You know what I'm saying? Don't put that on the kids. Let them kids figure out who they're going to be as they get older.
Like that as a kid. You was a normal kid.
That's what I'm saying.
I go put that shit on.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all have normal kids, so make sure the next generation after that.
So let me ask you this: Do you feel like do you feel like that agenda is set in place to like create a different world? Because we gotta look at it like this on the flip side, like if the agenda is to create people who can identify as who they are, then that means as the point in time comes, there's going to be less people reproducing and having babies. There's going to be, you understand what I'm getting at? Yeah. So like, population control. So do you feel like that agenda is, you know what I'm saying, kind of centered around population control and trying not to,
like population control, creating a role and probably money at the end of the day. Have a trend. If you have kids doing, as I'm saying, you have a kid that's 12 years old, he's completely healthy. Now he wants to transition to a boy or girl, whatever. That's gonna be surgery. That's gonna be money. The medication. That's gonna be money. He's most likely gonna be in.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? For cool.
That's crazy. I never even looked.
Like probably for the rest of his life.
Yeah, taking hormones, all type of stuff. Damn.
That's money. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. I never thought about that.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you? I mean,
Yes, please be gay for us. We're gonna run up these numbers, nigga.
That's crazy.
You know and the economy, inflation, no one's like, it might be to a point where niggas getting sick, but they are so broke they're not going to the hospital no more. So let's create something to generate some more revenue type shit. So it's part of everything. I don't think that's like the main thing, but that's definitely a part of it.
No, yeah, for sure, for sure. And I'm just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like amazed because
You get a healthy boy at an early age. Oh man, we had 100,000 from this nigga from from time he's 12 to 18. 100 bands. I don't know how much
no, yeah, for sure,
surgery costs.
for sure,
Pretty sure it's that
for
cheap, you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Hormones, you know what I mean? All this shit.
That's a,
Counseling, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's
Like,
something
it
I
probably
never
affects
even,
everybody.
I never even really looked at it like that, like from a monetary standpoint to where
I feel like a lot of things like
they make it. Oh yeah, everything's driven by money, so that's what I'm saying. That makes perfect sense to where
healthy kid.
that's part of the agenda. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Healthy kid. There's nothing wrong with him. And now the next 10 years you're gonna have to be taking medication.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You're afraid to stand on what you're saying, you know what I mean? And yeah, really have people. I feel like you have people behind this shit that really have that's like evil type people, you know what I mean? That's behind this shit. That's just trying to get more money. More trying to, you know what I mean? Break up families, they know, they know. Man, with that
for
shit.
sure. He might turn on his kids or something.
Some females who do support that shit. Now you're creating division in the house. You know what I mean? Turning this, like it's biblical, nigga. You turn the man against
the son, and
wife against husband, wife. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Daughter against mom. You creating a problem. And extra, it's already enough problem. You creating an extra problem. Even if your kid wasn't like wanting to do even if your kid was, you know what I mean, didn't want to do a transition or whatever, you just, I guess you still might create a problem in the house because you might have the wife, who may support, that, you know what I mean, and you have a husband who don't support that, even though your kid isn't planning on doing that shit at all. Y'all still
y'all bickering
some shit,
right.
That doesn't affect you personally. You know what I'm saying?
So, you finding a way to like destruct the normal household from the inside out, working through the kids. Because now, you got a good point.
Family, of course, we get more money for that. You know so we got your kids. We get money from your kids. Transition. We get money from you, from divorcing, from arguing about this shit. We getting money from. Yeah, they're trying to break up. You know what I mean? It's they're just trying to break up shit, man. I feel like they're trying to. You know what I mean? And I know that might be another.
For sure.
Subject for another day.
Sure.
But even with politics, that's the same way. It's like you have two candidates. You know what I mean? And it's like you go for one. This side don't like the people who go for this side, and create that division. You create that. You know what I mean? You create that conflict, and I don't know.
So okay, so. Wow. So like to sum it up, what would you say, or like, what would like going forward from this conversation that we had, like, what would you say, like, what would you say to the parents who aren't necessarily aware, because some people are naive to the fact that their kids are really getting influenced by social media, because like you said, they're using it as a babysitter.
I'll say I saw a post, or that show, that show CoComelon?
I heard of it before.
So, they had a study that, for the shows, right? They'll get kids to come down and sit and watch the CoComelon. They'll have another TV. CoComelon will be playing on this TV. They'll have something else playing on this TV. And they're monitoring the kids to see how long they're glued to the TV. And if they take their eyes off the TV, they analyze that picture and they want to make it to more. They want
their attention to stay locked in.
They're doing studies to see what can we do to
keep their attention engaged.
So that should scare you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
They're doing that. They're studying your kids. They're studying your kids. They're studying your kids to see what they like, what they don't like. How can we keep your attention?
That's heavy.
What can we do? Like,
that's heavy. I hope y'all listen to what he said, like how they studying the kids.
My son has never watched CoComelon. I'm not gonna put CoComelon. I don't want him to get. It's like that. Like it's another study I saw where a little girl. She was watching CoComelon, and her parent gave her like a piece of lemon, and she was watching CoComelon, right? and she started twisting the shit, but she was still eating.
Locked in.
She didn't even notice that.
Locked in.
She thought she was eating like an apple or orange.
Locked in.
Her eyes twitching and everything, but she's still locked on the screen.
Locked in.
Yeah, man. Like,
so okay, so
that's the study on your kids, man.
So what advice would you give the parents?
I would say, yeah, monitor what they're watching. You know what I mean? Like watch. I would like watch a lot of shows with them. You know what I mean? At first, like, you know, like a certain amount of shows, I would watch the show with them to see, make sure it's cool. And not just having the TV on, but having other activities you can do in the house. You know what I mean? Like, you know, to work your brain. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like anything. Like, you know, my son, he's 5, 6 months ago, so it's not like too many great activities I can do.
Right.
But yeah, well, you know, he had like the little stomach pad with the little bubbles and shit, so he'll mess with the bubbles. We have little toys. You know what I mean? So,
give him other things
we're not just letting him watch the TV all day, but yeah, we'll let him watch Dory movie for 2 hours. Okay, time for a walk. Let's go walk around a little bit. Let's go do a tummy time. Let's go play with your little toys.
Yeah, so. You know what I mean? No, yeah, so I would say.
You gotta monitor. Yeah, I mean, you gotta monitor.
Okay, so just to sum it up for y'all, I mean, we would say you gotta definitely monitor them, and then you gotta debrief what they was watching, regardless, because you're not gonna always be able to monitor them. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the whole time, so you gotta definitely debrief what they watching and give them other stuff to be engaged in. You know what I'm saying? I know the world is different, so a lot of parents be busy. So it's just more comfortable. It's more easy to put the gadget in front of them. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like we got to take more responsibility as a parent to make sure that we set an example that we want them to follow, instead of just telling them, oh no, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. But they're not really getting that example in front of them to be reinforced. You know what I'm saying?
It's more important to debrief for sure. You
know? To debrief.
Just because, like for example, right? Like when I was a little kid, when I first watched Toy Story, I used to think toys actually move.
Oh yeah.
I actually think that shit. You know what I mean? Mind you, that's an innocent movie like Toy Story. There's other movies out here
it's not innocent.
It's a little bit more advanced than Toy Story.
Yeah, it's not innocent.
They got some other shit on there, so you know what I mean? Like, and you don't debrief them on that? Like,
yeah.
Around, they might think, like I said, they might think it's cool. Like they'll see 2 guys kissing or something.
That's normal.
Normal, like, or they think this is normal. It's like, not saying that's not normal, but I don't know. Like, depending on what you believe in and God, whatever. Biblically, nigga, that's not. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. You know?
No, yeah, for sure, for sure. And I just want to sum it up and put that disclaimer back out there that this ain't to judge nobody on their preference or what they do as an adult. This is centered around, like, I'm gonna just call it what it is, and this is my opinion. The attack, the agenda is attack on the kids, and it's kind of, you know, yeah, and it's putting it in front of them to where, you know, they feel like that's a feasible option. And just based on how I was raised, I know how you was raised the same way. We both grew up in churches. That ain't what's up, man. And at the end of the day, me as a man, especially seeing other boys, young boys, young men, we need more soldiers out here. We don't need none of this soft stuff. You know what I'm saying? And trying to demasculate the man and all that. Too, we need soldiers out here.
I mean, if y'all don't think that's affecting you guys, even with kids, right? I feel like females, right? Females nowadays, they wonder, oh, these guys are so unemotionally intelligent.
Oh yeah.
They hitting me. Yeah, man.
For sure.
It's coming from this.
It's
coming from this shit. You know
For sure.
You're not debriefing these kids. You're not. You know what I mean? So they think it's okay. You know what I mean? If they see a BT movie or something, they see Jody smack this. You know what I'm saying? They think that's okay. Like, you have to debrief these people. Like, you have to debrief the kids. You have to debrief grown men on certain.
Yeah,
you know
for sure. So you definitely got to do it with the kids.
Like, the kids for sure. You know what I mean? You have to debrief them. Man. You have to let them know. Like, you have to help them understand. Like, this is. That,
right, you know, separate the reality from the
you know yeah. You know what I mean? Like what you see on social media, obviously it's a real picture, but it's like you don't understand like there's other elements in there that's making it look good. No one's posting their bullshit on Instagram.
Nah.
No one's posting like the bad weeks or the bad pictures, the ugly pictures, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Everything
filters.
Fabulous. You know what I mean?
For sure.
you gotta let your kids know like this is you know what I mean? They got filter, they got all types of shit making them look this certain type of way.
For sure.
Editing, you know what I mean? You can edit your body and your hips to make it look. So now when you go on Instagram, if you're a female, you go on Instagram, you see pretty girls with hello, like good bodies and that knowing that's
she
all
don't
edited,
look.
that's
Yeah,
all
she don't
fake,
look nothing
that's
like
all
that.
makeup, that's filters, you know what I mean? So you have to read that shit. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That'll make
For
you feel
sure.
the type of way.
For sure. Yep, that's all. That's all within the day's work, man. We're gonna wrap it up right there. You gotta debrief them kids. You gotta debrief them kids. You gotta put other things in front of them that will keep them focused on how you want them to be, at least until they're old enough to make their own sound adult like decisions.
Sure.
You feel what I'm saying? And man, like always, we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I know 100% for sure it was something you got out of this episode. And that's for the people who have kids or for the people who may, you know what I'm saying, going down that journey, getting ready to have kids. Debrief them kids. Make sure you give them the agenda that you want them to follow and don't let them get sucked into the world, man. Thank y'all for tuning into the Real Ops podcast, man, where the only ops is the mentality that you perceive and that you portray every day sitting in between your mind. So let's go, y'all. We appreciate it. Yeah, that was heavy right there. Yeah, that was